Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is video 2 of 2 for today.
And first, a word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, letting you know that Rocket Money is still saving me a ton of money, and it can save you a ton of money too. You look here, it shows you all of your reoccurring subscriptions. What I got? I got Xbox Game Pass, that's okay. YouTube Premium, I like that one. And Uber One, oh, that's for like all the Uber Eats that I get. Yeah, I order a lot of food, so that's okay. Guys, check this app out. It can save you money.
Yeah, the average user saves up to $700 a year. Over $500 million in savings from canceled subscriptions.
I can attest to that. I have saved hundreds, if not over 1,000, because my insurance rate has actually been lower. They can lower and negotiate certain rates for you.
Yeah, you could also get yourself organized. Check out your subscriptions to video games and movies and set your budget to whatever you like.
It lets me know and it lets me budget. Get it now. You can go to rocketmoney.com/angryjoeshow. The greatest part, it's completely free to try. Check it out. Click that link down below. There are some additional premium features if you really like it that you can go in on, but it has saved me so much money completely free, and that's what we love doing here for you guys. So, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check it out.
Guys, check out Rocket Money. It saves us money. It could save you money too. Links down below. And I just realized that this is green. So is my head gone?
Oh, man.
I just fucking realized that. We're filming for our Black Ops 6 review, kind of part in my Angry Joe and my Woods outfit. So please stay tuned for that. That'll be sometime this week. Over the weekend, we put out a video for Payday 3 that got downvoted. A lot of people were upset with us that we covered Payday 3 after its disastrous launch, and we're upset that we didn't have the reviews for Black Ops and some of these other games out. We addressed that directly in part 1 of the news, so go watch that one for a full transparency on that. We love having a dialogue with you guys. We love hearing your feedback, and we want to share our opinions and our reasonings for everything. So thank you so much. Go watch that one. And then Alex, so what's coming up? Basically, we're working on Black Ops, and Veilguard is next after that. And yeah, so come join us on Twitch as we wrap up our Dragon Age. Alex, what the hell else has been going on in gaming news?
Lionsgate, our favorite movie studio, is going to bring the Outlast universe to the big screen. I don't know. Some people are excited about it.
Which one?
Outlast.
First one, maybe?
Yeah.
To make Outlast movies? Dude,
Outlast
me and Joe played one Outlast. We liked it a lot. Yeah. So hopefully they focus in on that. Maybe an underground... The sets would be real easy. You do an underground base that was working on some weird shit, and then shit goes wrong. Yeah, and you have to get inside a locker of some bit.
Yeah. So I think I really like the first one. That was Outlast. Yeah, Outlast 1 in 2013. I like that one. So
it'd be a good horror movie.
We've seen a lot of video games get turned into movies. Some that we just don't understand why. Hey, remember when Battleship got a movie? I know it's a video game, but remember when that?
Yeah, Battleship.
This doesn't feel exactly like that.
Man, Rihanna, I forgot about that.
Holy shit, there was Rihanna.
Yeah. So this one I think has got better bones because horror works really well. They can make it for cheap, and they actually do very well. Even average horror movies make really good money based on their budget. So that is coming. In other news, Russia has fined Google a lot of money. It's 25000000000000000000, and then 12 more zeros, and then that's actually more money than exists on Earth. And it's because Russia is mad about YouTube channels.
Oh, okay.
Because of those goddamn YouTubers.
They do not expect to collect this money. This is hilarious. They're a joke. They make themselves look like a joke, and it's fucking stupid.
How about we meet in the middle?
No.
How
about you fuck off?
How about you give me a $10 thing?
Okay, then I'll give you $10 to go away. Google will give you $10.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's more than the World Bank estimates that we have on Earth. So
that's hilarious. Okay, well, I guess Russia is just trying to make sure that Google never operates in Russia ever again, because they're like, oh, well, you're back? Okay, well, pay us the fine. It's like, what? The fine is a joke. You're a joke.
Yeah, you
Stop
are a joke. And this is all because YouTube blocked some Russian channels, so like pro-Kremlin propaganda channels. And they're like, no, this can't be on here. And so they
How do they calculate it? For every hour you block our channel, we charge you $2 million?
He just had a little swiveling chair. He turns to the camera. $1 billion gazillion
$1 billion gazillion
It's like,
dollars.
what?
I think it's more than that, though.
It is. I don't know exactly what you would call that, though.
All of the money on Earth.
Yeah.
I want you to give me all of the money on Earth.
All of the money. It's like, sir, we can't do that.
Yeah. So it's silly, but
It is. Yeah. What are you thinking?
I'm.
Well,
In bad news, Path of Exile 2 early access has been delayed 3 weeks. It's a game I'm really looking forward to playing. Was supposed to come out this month, got pushed into December. And then,
I'm fine with it. Anything related to trying to make sure the game is ready for launch at launch is always good.
And then one of the things that they want to make sure they said is all of the microtransactions you purchase in Path of Exile 1 will transfer over to Path of Exile 2, and making sure that all. With the caveat that's like, look, if you bought a Halloween 2019 thing and it's not Halloween, that's not going to transfer. But stash tabs and things like that are going to transfer over, and they just have to have some time to figure all that stuff out. So give them a couple weeks, the game will come out, and then I'll get to lose all my time to that game because I'm itching.
My opinion was yeah, that's great. That's very positive, but I also think the Halloween thing should transfer as well.
Yeah.
It's just digital.
Yeah.
Digital skins.
Digital.
I should be able to wear whatever I want to wear because I bought it.
This week we got leadership changes for Wolverine and Perfect Dark, both games. So Marcus Smith is going to replace Brian Horton as creative director on Wolverine, and Horton is moving to Xbox to head up Perfect Dark. These are both games. I think Wolverine, I actually may be more excited about
Than
that
Perfect Dark?
Than Perfect Dark. I
Yes.
love the original Perfect Dark.
the laptop
Me too.
gun.
Laptop gun and like the playing multiplayer was
Yeah.
so fun,
Yeah.
but I am itching to play a good Wolverine game too.
Yes, the early Wolverine footage that they showed off was a news story, big controversy because it looked like shit.
Yeah.
But the game is like still in development, and we're talking early development, at that point. So I don't put any stock in what was leaked, and I am interested in the Wolverine game. But that's very sensitive because you have to have Wolverine shish kebabbing people. You have to get the claw gameplay right and dismemberment right. But then when you put in dismemberment, it does look kind of foolish. It does look kind of ragdollish and hilarious sometimes when you actually think about it. And plus, the ESRB will go crazy with it. I'm curious what their solution is and if they find that fine-tuned line.
I just don't want it to be human-sized sentinels that are
Right.
just get
Apart.
and then there'll be little sparks coming out of
Everybody's
their arms,
robots.
and then everyone's
Unfortunately, that's what it's going to be,
I
at
didn't
least a
want
portion
that.
of it, because you have to have a wide variety of enemies, and robots are always going to go against the X-Men.
Yeah.
Always.
They could do zombies, but I doubt that. But what I really want is like what they did in Addams Family, where they're slicing off limbs and they just start shooting blood, like super soakers all over everything. Like
And,
that's what I want.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, I
Halloween.
wanted stuff like that, obviously, in Star Wars, because the lightsabers, they don't have the impact like they used to.
Yeah.
And you're not going to feel like Wolverine if it doesn't have the impact. It's going to be weird.
Oh, like if someone's like blocking you with something, yeah. No, they're gonna be adamantium-plated sentinel robot human things. We'll see.
I'm curious which one will end up better, Wolverine or Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
I'm keeping tabs on both of these, and I'm
you
going to
have to, 'cause we're
compare
not
them
getting a
against each
Superman
other.
game, so yeah, it's got to be.
You just want to twist the knife, don't you?
Hey, we talked about it last time. Got to bring it into
I
this
just
one.
got slapped in the face.
Ah. Ouch.
You like Superman as much as
I do
me.
too,
Why
but
doesn't
I
it
give
affect
it up.
you? You don't
'Cause
give
I
a fuck.
No, I give it up.
It's
I
like
give
being,
it
it's
up.
like
gave
being a
up.
Cowboys fan. It's like you just
I
got,
gave
you look
up.
at it and
Eventually.
you're just like,
I gave up.
All right. Well, in 2025, there's going to be a new Superman movie, so hopefully we'll get a new No, because these games take 3-5 years if you want to do it right, and we've not heard a peep about anything. So if anything, we're going to get a shitty mobile game, and that's even
We're
worse.
going to get another Batman game.
yeah.
Yeah,
or
we're getting
worse,
another
a
Batman.
DC League of Super Pets Part 2.
I think that's what Rocksteady's working on, right? Another Batman game. They're going back to their roots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, another Batman.
I would have took Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too.
Oh, we're getting a
Oh,
great
yeah, Last Ronin.
Last Ronin. Very excited for Last Ronin.
I hope that's good.
Yeah. So.
Oh, right. We're already getting one.
Yeah. This week, EA CEO has pushed back against the idea of Apex 2.0. This was in a call with investors. They're like, hey, you have super low player engagement. We are not making the amount of money that we have been making before. Yeah. Is it time to start looking at what's next? Maybe Apex Part 2? And Andrew Wilson said no. He said it's a really good question, probably beyond the scope of this conversation. But what I would say is typically what we have seen in the context of live service-driven games at scale, it is the version 2 thing has almost never been as successful as the version 1 thing. And I think a lot of that comes with, I brought up Path to Exile 2 for a reason in this one, is because PoE2 is kind of a new thing, but they're also transferring over all of the purchases. And so I think a lot of the time people are like, hey, I don't want to play your Part 2 when I've been buying all these microtransactions in Part 1, and then you're making me buy Part 2, and it's not a meaningful upgrade. And so you can do Part 2 well. You just have to upgrade the system and bring all those other things forward, but that's not an EA thing. So Andrew Wilson does not want Apex Legends 2. He also doesn't want you playing on anything Linux because Apex has been removed. As they blocked the Linux operating system access to Apex Legends, including things on Steam Deck. So they're just limiting. It's a smaller part of their audience, but still limiting people to play because they're worried about cheaters on Linux.
That sucks. From a player standpoint, that's anti-consumer, I think, because they don't want to do it because they're not going to make as much money. Yeah. They don't want to evolve the game because they're not going to make as much money. I think that's bullshit. Why can't you be the first one to do it that makes more money, that is more successful than the initial Apex? And plus, I'm already fucking salty that we'll never get another Titanfall because Apex was so successful. Yeah. So EA's like, well, we're never going back to a Titanfall because it'll make us, 50 million instead of 300 million. We're not going to do a Titanfall 3. So fuck them.
Remember, Apex has made over $1 billion in microtransactions in its lifetime. There is plenty of money in the pot to make for more development. They just don't want
That's
to.
just telling me that you're not going to do a Titanfall 3. If you're sure as hell not going to do an Apex 2, you're sure as hell not going to do a Titanfall 3 unless... that the only way an Apex 2 would happen is if they did a Titanfall 3 as a little, small piece of meat towards the fans, and they do it on EA Originals. Isn't that hilarious? Just like, it's no longer prime time. It's just a side project to get people to shut up, and then they do an Apex 2 type event based on what was in Titanfall 3.
I mean, they sell color swaps is what most of their skins are.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, this gun, you like this gun? Yeah, I do. It's like, well, now it's orange. Give me $8. It's like, well, if you're making that kind of money on basic ass color swaps, you can throw us a...
Well, what is the future of Apex? They're basically just telling us more of the same.
They're going to let it die. Or they're going to let it dwindle until it dies, and then they'll move on to something else, I guess.
Yeah. I guess a new IP, or I guess at then they'll have to be like, we re-examined our initial strategy with Apex, and we decided that the best thing for the game would be a badass 2.0.
2.0, where we can resell you all the microtransactions you've ever bought.
And it's not really a 2.0, it's more like Overwatch 2.
Well, Overwatch 1.5.
It's a shiny blue.
Yeah. Oh, metallic
Shiny.
blue, it costs a lot more than matte blue.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
Everybody knows that the pixels, they have far more expensive pixelation.
Premium.
Premium pixelation, so it costs more. It costs the developers more to add sheen to blue instead of just normal blue. So we have fucking shiny blue. $73, please.
Yeah, but what about pearlescent shiny blue? That's even nicer.
That's a good name, pearlescent.
Hundreds.
What about translucent?
Oh,
blue?
Yeah.
What?
I want to be able to see the insides of my gun too. Yeah.
All right. next story, Alex.
Microsoft gaming revenue is up 43% year on year due to the Activision acquisition. So things are going well. I mean, they paid an absurd amount of money that's going to take them a decade, at least, if not many, many, many more to recoup. But things are going well for them. So revenues up, net income, everything is doing better. And with Call of Duty,
I'd imagine
yeah,
the subscriptions, what they really want to see is in a month or two's time, we'll get some reports. Hopefully it'll be out in public. I know Microsoft doesn't like all this stuff being out in public because people can make fucking investment decisions and other decisions related to that. But I am curious if this gamble paid off, putting Call of Duty up on the Game Pass rather than having those people pay $70 up front to Microsoft. Yeah, now you can spend between what, $10 and $20 for a subscription and get it.
Yeah. So during Microsoft's earnings calls, the CEO revealed that the game broke records for day one players and Game Pass subscribers.
Okay.
And so it
broke records.
It's doing.
They didn't tell us if it's 1.5 times or 2 times subscriptions or 3 times or a massive success of 7 times the amount of subscriptions. That's out of the realm of possibility. But still, because they already have a lot of subscribers on the Game Pass.
Yeah, so they're doing very well. This actually also has pushed Black Ops or Call of Duty in total to over
34 million PC, cloud, and console. 34 million.
That's pretty good at anywhere from $10 to $18 a month every month.
This is as of February 2024, which was a 36% increase from 25 million reported in January 2022. So I would think that they would want to see another 36% increase by 2026, and then I think they'll be happy. So you don't think that'll happen? So
that'll happen.
I think they'll consider it a success if they get that 34 million to 45 million.
Yeah, I mean, and just imagine how great it would have been if Starfield hadn't been a dumpster fire and all these other things that they had been banking on since they purchased. I think Redfall was their first. And so it's like these other live service games where they want people on Game Pass for. Call of Duty has now surpassed 500 million total copies in the franchise sold, leaving it now second to just Mario-based games in all-time sales. So things are looking better for Microsoft since they bought Activision.
I thought wasn't there a news story that Black Ops 6 was selling a lot even outside of Game Pass?
Oh, it's doing
breaking
very well.
Records outside of Game Pass.
Yeah,
still,
it's in this news
that's
story,
what's even crazier. Can you tell me about it, or you don't know on that one?
They didn't give us specific, but it's in addition to on Game Pass, it's doing very, very well on PlayStation. The title saw unit sales on PlayStation and Steam increase by 60% year over year. But that's through last year's Call of Duty was kind of poor. But 60% increase on PlayStation is pretty good.
This is why we both have 2 laptops so we can support each other. Michael Patchter, you know, that guy that's been in the industry forever. I'm familiar with his name if you aren't. He believes that putting Call of Duty on Game Pass could result in 6 million lost sales, based on the idea that 25% of Game Pass subscribers may have bought the game anyway. However, he adds the move could result in 3 to 4 million people signing up for Game Pass to access the title. So those are some actual analysts, some pretty good analyst predictions on, what that. So are they okay with 6 million lost sales on the Game Pass for 3 to 4 million people signing up?
Yeah.
Which would bring that up to about 40 million. And then I think with another year's time, 45 million is possible.
Because you only have to be on Game Pass for 4 months before they're making more money, and people forget. I mean, that's we keep talking about. I mean, there's people in this room right now that had Ubisoft Plus for months and didn't need to have Ubisoft Plus. I've let it ride one additional month too. Just because sometimes you forget, and then it's just that stuff happens. And I think they're just banking on people signing up, and then forgetting that it's there.
And remember, they removed the 14-day $1 trial offer because that was an indication that Microsoft needs to maximize its subscription revenue. We have chief game analyst Piers Harding Rolls. He is a little more conservative. He believes that Call of Duty will result in a 10% increase in Game Pass Ultimate subscribers. And I think we're talking about Game Pass Ultimate only because he says not all of those will be completely new users, as it will include those upgrading from Game Pass Core to Game Pass Standard. So that's good information, because Call of Duty will only be available in that Ultimate tier. So never mind about the $10 that I said. 10 to 20? No. You're up 12 to 20. It's 13 to 20.
All right. Also this week, Sony finally did it, and they have shut down Firewalk Studios, which is the studios that develop Concord. So game was already shut down.
Huge news.
Yeah, and so the game was already shut down, removed. There was talks of the game coming back. There was updates on the back end of Steam.
As a free-to-play title to try to earn a little bit more money back?
Yeah, exactly. But they said that they've completely shut it down, and they've evaluating our game portfolio and status of our projects to ensure we are meeting near and long-term business priorities. It was making the difficult decision to close Neon Koi and Firewalk Studios. They did not say that they're gonna try to keep some of their staff, and they keep using the word some. And so they are going to, let me see if I can give you exactly what they said. So they're going to try to keep some of their people. We will work to find placement for some of those impacted within our global community where possible. So this isn't one of those things where they're going to get folded in and work on other projects. Yeah. A lot of these people are just going to be laid off.
Well, with that's incredibly huge story, because with that would probably make Concord the biggest video game failure of all time. If some of the numbers that are true, it's already at 200 million, but there was all these rumors that it was another 200 million, so potentially 400 million. It would be one of the biggest video game failures of all time. In fact, I was doing research for a potential top 10 biggest video game failures. So what else would be? E.T. is on there as a nostalgia pick, because it didn't lose quite as much money. It actually made sales before they started destroying copies. But other ones could be, The Day Before, Lawbreakers, Babylon's Fall, if you remember that. I think you can consider.
That's what I was thinking about last time.
Suicide Squad.
The Avengers, I think. Well, I mean, it did very poorly. I don't know what it's.
No, I think Avengers wouldn't be in the top 10 biggest failures. It would probably be considered a failure, but
Sega in the late 90s.
I don't know. There's a lot of failures in video game, Joe. So I don't think it would even hit any list. It just didn't hit expectations.
Yeah, those Sega consoles that sold like 7 copies, and it's like, okay. Yeah,
but maybe it does, because they wanted to go big with that Avengers and have it be one of their premium live services, and now it's not a thing.
Hyenas, because it truly just cost $100 million. It's a $100 million loss period.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on here because I don't have Hyenas, but because these are ones that have come out. But I'll put a little asterisk for that.
For Concord, weren't they gonna make like a show or something?
There's going to be an episode on an Amazon
No word
series.
on whether they're removing the episode, so it is going to be even more awkward to watch it now, knowing that there is nothing coming. There is no free-to-play title in December. There is probably nothing in 2025. That's just fucking wild to me. Honestly, I was kind of looking forward to seeing what they would do in a free-to-play. How would they monetize it? Would it look worse? Would they completely change the style and try to make better, more appealing characters? I was kind of looking forward to seeing. I was morbidly curious about that redemption arc, but now we're not going to get it. I don't think. No, because if you close a whole studio down and you start moving people out,
unless they are going to give it to a team of 12 people and just say, hey, man, get what you can.
We made this new studio just for this purpose.
Yeah, and Skeleton Crew run the thing and just be like, hey, all the hard stuff's done. Just figure out a way to monetize it. No videos, no lore things, just a live service for the purpose of selling.
Yeah, no,
it'd be tough.
Maybe they're doing it as a write-off, a tax write-off, but I'm not sure how. If it was released, you were selling physical copies, and it was just a failure. I don't know how. You'd have to talk to a tax guy and a CPA on that.
The physical copy is going to be worth something now.
Your physical copy worth some money? Yeah, I don't think so, because Anthem still has physical copies and they're not worth anything. I have one of them.
They're going to go the way of the ET. They're all going to get up in one dump and destroyed and removed from existence.
Destroyed. Moose. Can't have nice things with them.
Yeah, moose. That's the problem with when you live with a wild moose. They trample everything and they bite stuff they're not supposed to.
Moose is Alex's dog.
Yeah, and he bit my Anthem jewel case that Tolgion sent me. He sent it as a gift. He's like, I want you to have this as a piece of history. And the very first thing that Moose did was bite it.
No.
I still get copies of Sonic Free Riders when I go to conventions. People give me free rider copies.
Gems. Those are gems.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something. All right, that's what I got here.
All right, yeah. I don't really have anything to add there. So, yeah, check out our first video. We've got a lot coming towards the end of the year, so stay tuned. Stick with us. Thank you so much for your patience as we ebb and flow, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.